Hi, it's Rana, and I have a layout today, and this is day 3 of Scraptember, and our prompt today is to use a white 12 by 12. So I'm going to start out by doing a little pocket for a tag that's going to hold my journaling, and it'll be hidden journaling. And I'm making my pocket out of the Pretty Little Studio You Are My Sunshine transparency pieces. These are super pretty and very thick, nice transparencies. So I thought it would be fun to try this. I've never tried to make a pocket out of these transparencies before. So I am doing that right now. I scored it on my We Are Memory Keepers little scoreboard there, and then I'm going to cut the edges so that it can be folded over and it won't overlap or make a an extra bend or anything. So if you cut it at a diagonal right at the end of your two folds, then you have a nice little pocket. So I scored at 1/4 of an inch, and I used the regular scoring piece to start with, but when I turned it over and used the ball point on the scoring tool, it worked much better to get that transparency really scored properly so that it'll fold nicely. So I just go ahead and press it down nicely with the bone folder, and it's going to stay, and it's going to be a really nice little pocket for a tag. So I like how that looks. And then I picked this fun little paper. The pictures that I'm going to be scrapping are all about some water balloon fun that the kids had with their friends at a sleepover at their house. So the journaling is actually done by my grandson, whose book this is going into, and I'm not going to show you his journaling. He did it himself, and he was just talking about what they did and what his friendship with this little guy means to him. So he had a friend over, and his brother had a friend over, and they all four played great and had a lot of fun. So that is what I'm documenting today. So this is kind of the basic design that I wanted to go with. It's hard to get all 4 photos to fit on a layout, but I like how this looks, and then the journaling being on the back side of that tag, so the pocket serves the purpose of being able to easily lift it out and read the journaling. So I had to have that up at the top so it can be easily taken out of a page protector as well. So now I'm just using some Distress Oxide ink to jazz up this white background, and it's going to be all covered up in the middle, as you saw from my design. So I took my just the ink pad directly and started in the middle and went out, so it's softer to the outside, and then where it's thicker on the inside, because I know it's going to be covered up. Then I also just put the ink pad direct to the glass mat, sprayed some water, and then I'm going to add bunches of splatters. So I do my fan brush to get some small splatters, and then I'm going to do this round brush, and I'm going to get a little bit thicker splatters. I think you'll be able to see it better in the close-ups at the end. But I'm just adding lots and lots of splatters. It's representing the water balloons and the spray and all of the things. So I wanted lots of splatters and this to look like kind of water drips. So I'm going to get all of that done, and then I'm going to go ahead and use Redline Tape to attach the pocket that I made for my tag. So the Redline Tape works fantastic on anything like this. You would be able to see it because the tag is going to cover up where it's glued down. It doesn't make any difference. So I like that a lot, and the Redline Tape is also going to hold it so well because it's just an extra strong bond. So I am going to fight with the backing. That's the only thing I don't like about Redline tape, is the backing is so hard to get off. And I'll get that down and get it nice and smooth, and then slide the tag in, and it works great. So I'm loving that. I'm also trying something else new that I haven't done before, and that is some metallic thread. I don't think I've ever stitched on a layout with metallic thread before, and if you've ever used metallic thread, it can be a challenge. I'm going to do these two borders at the top and the bottom of the layout, and then I'm going to do a running stitch. Now I chose to do a running stitch because, as you can see on the rays of my little pocket there, all of the rays have a running stitch look. So I thought, well, I'm going to do a running stitch up here, and I bought this metallic blue thread, and I'm trying to show you how pretty it is there. And I'm using my needle threader, which I did incorrectly to start with, and now I'm going to fix it and do it how you're supposed to. I don't often use the needle threader, but this is, like, the metallic thread it's hard to deal with, really. It's kind of thicker, and it separates, not like a regular DMC floss does. You know how it stays together so nicely. This is a little different, and I love the look of the sparkle to it though, and I thought it would add something to this layout. So that's why I wanted to try it, and I do like it in the end. It did great. And when I was stitching, yes, it does separate, and you have to, I'm just going to do a couple of stitches here because I'm sure everyone knows how to do a running stitch. It's the kind of dashed lines stitch. If you don't know what a running stitch is, it's a super easy stitch, and it goes together great. And that's why I think if I would have done a more complicated stitch with this thread, I might not have liked it as well, but because it was just a running stitch, it worked out fine. I did have to hold my paper and thread up and let it kind of dangle and unspool, because it could make knots if you're not careful. So now I'm going to also add some of these little circles in this exact same color of ink that I used for the background. I just wanted to add a little bit more on the edges there. This is a Vicky Bouton stamp, and so I'm just going to add some little circles there, represent my water balloons, and yep, you see it, I'm going to add even more splatters. I felt like when I laid everything down, it wasn't as far, the mixed media didn't go as far down as I really needed it to. So, and I wanted to go over the pattern paper as well. So a few more splatters. But I did really like the thread. I don't know if you can tell on screen here, but it does have some sparkle to it, and it just reminded me of water, so I liked how that looked. And it matched the ink color very well as well. So I'm liking how this looks, and I'm going to get my pictures all kind of placed how I want them, and then I am going to start putting down a few embellishments that I had pulled out. The title for this layout is going to be Keeping Cool, and then I also found a banner that says Make a Splash, and another banner piece that is in yellow, and it says Enjoy the Sun. And I found a cute little sun that I wanted to include, and I do have a cloud, so I'm going to add those two. I'm going to add foam tape on the first batting picture, and then I'm going to end up doing 2 layers of foam tape. And I don't usually double up my foam tape, but for this one, I felt like it needed a second layer, and this photo beside the other photo, it just wasn't going to work. the way I was doing it, trying to make them all even. So I have that one a little bit higher, and then these other ones are also going to be a little bit higher as well. So I have all of my photos placement decided here. And then I'm going to add this little banner at the bottom, just kind of a little festive touch, I thought, because it's a little slumber party. I don't think the kids call it that anymore, but they just say sleepover. So I did have to add a little bit of foam tape behind the banner, especially where that first photo was, because it was a little bit lower and I didn't want it to bend when it was in the page protector. So I am going to go ahead and put my cloud down, but then I decided I still had a little bit of the thread left, and I thought I'm going to do this little, I call it the Missy Whidden nest, because she used to do that on her mixed media layouts and I never did it, and now I'm just kind of liking it lately. So this is not my first one. I've done a few of these now, and I thought it added to the whole, you know, water balloon splat spray look with that little the little thread back behind the cloud there, and going along with my mixed media up there. So I'm liking that. And then get my sun down. It had to be up on some foam tape. And each of these pieces I'm also going to pop up. So everything is pretty well popped up off of the background on this layout. I like to have some things up and some things down on most of my layouts, and really the only thing that is completely flat with the page are a few stickers, the banner at the top and the bottom that I stitched down, and then the pocket and the tag. And of course the pocket kind of makes it elevated a little bit, and I think that's part of why I felt like I needed to add foam tape behind the pieces that were going over the pocket, just because it was the pieces that were overlapping. It wasn't going to just lay really nice and flat. So adding a little foam tape just kind of made it look a little better. Now I did add a little piece of foam tape at the very top of the cloud, so the bottom is tucked under the picture and then the top is popped up a little bit. My tag is still moving, so that's good. It didn't get pressed down so hard that it wouldn't easily come in and out of the pocket, so that works well. I think the transparency piece it made it perfect, a perfect pocket for a tag, because it's not gonna get stuck. It's going to just slide in and out easily, and it's just a fun look. And I really love how you can see through to the tag, and I like that the 6x9 paper that I had. Just kind of also had that little spray look of, you know, water. So I like how that looked. So I have one sticker on my finger, and I believe it says summer, and I have these yellow stickers that I was going to put sleepover, and I had to shuffle through and decide, because I have navy of that too, and I almost thought I wanted navy, but then I decided I want the yellow because the word summer is black, and I just thought, oh, the yellow and black will look cute right there. So now I have spelled out the word sleepover, and I'm going to stick summer right over top of it, but you can see that sleepover extended farther over that edge. So I'm going to fuss around with that a little bit, because for one, there's more space on the right than there is on the left, and I usually like my layouts to be kind of centered. And this one, for whatever reason, I guess because I attached the tag on there first and then worked around it, it wasn't really centered how I wanted it. So I'm looking through all of these tags thinking, if I can add a little bit more over here on this side, then it'll for one not make the sleepover look funny because it's extending farther over, but also it will make it look more like it's more centered on the page and there's not a bigger gap on the right hand side. Well, I looked through all of the tags, and then I was looking at the packaging, and oh my goodness, it was perfect. So now I have another sticker on my finger, and it's one of the clear stickers, and it says friends, and I wanted to use the word friends on here, as well as having this piece so that it made it go over farther, like I said, to even it up. And the friends is clear, and I just couldn't find a way to make it work. So now I'm looking at this little package with lots of phrases and things on it, and I find the word friendship. So I pull out friendship, I get rid of the clear sticker that says friends, I pull off friendship, and I just cut it so that it says friends. And I like how that looks because it's just printed on white, so it could go right over the picture, and it worked out well. So I'm going to show you my close-ups. On my tag, I added an extra little tag with a little pin, and one of the design team members used one of those little tags, or one of those little pins, on some cards that she did, and I just loved the look, so I had to get some. So that is my layout today. Check out all of the others playing along with Scraptember Day 3. The playlist will be down below, and I really appreciate you joining me and watching. Hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment with any questions you might have or any feedback, and we will see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.